interesting and for Chalet, considering their performance against Ascend in this map, Ollie. So we do see a bit of a repeat, of course, coming out from MNM. So repeat off, obviously, what they played on Friday. Which, then again, that does give Totem something to work off, I suppose.
Absolutely. Totem are coming into this one with their eyes wide open. They should know roughly what it is that they're going to be coming up against. You mentioned there that it was a tough old Chalet for MNM a couple of days ago. It really was. Not made any easier.
Intriguing first ban. Twitch gone.
Right, here's the deal. Here is the dealio. Cast your mind back, Demo, to when MNM played this map.
Okay.
They got ruined.
They did.
And I mean ruined.
Yeah.
By the Twitch. So much so I was speaking to a Murta after the game, and he was like, "That Twitch on Chalet, man." You can imagine him typing. He had his head in his hands.
There was no
like,
point of them bringing bulletproofs. There was absolutely no point.
Every bulletproof got rinsed, and that's a problem with Chalet as a map. You can't protect that utility that you're really putting out there.
Especially whenever, I would say, it's pretty natural to see a kind of Valkyrie band come in Chalet. The only information you can get is either from Aisha or Echo, who aren't great operators for this particular map because there isn't really any safe positions where you can kind of sit back and just kind of play in the cams. So that means the only thing you can either go for is Mozzie cameras, which are not consistent, not guaranteed, or the bulletproofs. And as we know, Twitch is great against the bulletproofs. One thing that I will say, though, about MNM is they did feature Echo whenever they were defending their kitchen dining, which worked actually very well for them. So that might still be an option for them if they're lacking information. But at the moment, we see the bulletproof come in. There's users with the camera. And this is Barn Game, and this was not a bomb site that I would say MNM looked strong on against Ascend. I think their top floor hold got obliterated very, very easily. I think the guy playing in Fireplace, I think it was Tyrant on the Frost, had, again, little impact.
I think a credit that we really gave to Ascend is how well they were able to manage the flank.
Yes.
This has not been a game of flanks thus far. We've seen it attempted, we've seen a little bit, but MNM haven't been going for those flanks. They maybe are going to find it difficult here, Demo, given that there's a Nomad being brought straight off the rip. We haven't seen Nomad yet this series, yet. First round of Chalet, Totem, they know how MNM want to try and play this. They know they want to try and work off that bulletproof cam information, and they want to stretch their legs. They need to try and send people out there. There's so many areas of this map that can be heavily underutilized as attackers just because you physically can't clear every single square inch of it.
Yeah, it's quite a big map compared to other maps that we have inside of the competitive pool. Not up there with Villa, but certainly challenging other big maps such as Oregon. So yeah, it can be tricky to get your drone work done, and it has to be pretty clean and pretty snappy. DJuice has got himself straight into Mudroom, and that doorway is going to be barricaded, so nobody really in control of that position of the map. But right now, Totem, in comes the nades. They're going to try and clear out this Jaeger, and I think it's only going to be a matter of time, and straight away, opening kill from a nade goes the Totem.
The nades hurt MNM last time they played this map as well. They really struggled losing that opening pick to a grenade. So again, doesn't want to be a trend that continues here. The library hold, once again, very soft. Players dropping out of that very quickly as soon as players are challenging on the rappel. Tyrant just getting a little bit unlucky there. Did have the chance at a couple of leg shots. Oh, a nice swing from Users though, really taking the initiative there. Shuts Link down. It's going to be the diffuser cold outside a big window. DJu shouldn't have too much of a problem recovering it, but we'll at least go for a little cheeky pre-fire before he does so. Eisen, he's got himself in as well, but Tyrant, he hasn't been pressured at all from New Balcony. And that's really somewhere that you can't afford to give Tyrant the space for. But Mowgli, look at him, Demo. He's approaching sight.
Yep. Oh, not for long, though. Does not check above him, which is very surprising. And Tyrant in a great position. I kind of mentioned that against Ascend, he didn't really have anything to say, but this time certainly does. Saltov done very well to at least pick up that kill before getting traded. And that's good for MNM. They have a minute left. Still have a C4, so they have some kind of denial. I wonder if the bulletproof is still up also for them. So right now, everything's looking really good for them. The pressure is going to be on Totem. DJuice does have a grenade, though. So if he manages to slip that into a good position and eliminate the man specifically inside a connector, it could make this round even more so interesting. But at the moment, MNM not in a position to give themselves away. We talked about MNM, very, very safe. They don't give anything away to anyone.
35 seconds left. Totem. Man disadvantage, but not the end of the world. They can still start to work on this vertical pressure. DJU's going to use that sledgehammer to try and do so. Nello getting himself into a nice position there, just outside of kitchen. Still the bulletproof available at the bottom of library. It's going to give information to Tyrant here. He knows someone's going to be looking to try and challenge. DJU looking at the drop on in. Tyrant is going to be getting pressured here, but he manages to find the kill over onto DJU. That is the diffuser down. That is the round sewn up from here. Neox is 1 health. He has a dream, but he's only got 5 seconds. He's going to be holding on to the angle, trying to bait himself out of kill, but nobody from MNM gives it up.
Big round from Tyrant. Kind of all over the place, wasn't he, Ollie? He was upstairs, he was downstairs, he's just in their faces. Right place, right time. So that was much better. You look at the comparison to the Ascend game. I mean, again, maybe should we be comparing the Ascend game? Because Ascend, they were a very solid, uniformed team. They knew exactly what they're doing. I'm looking very forward to seeing Ascend again. I cannot wait to see what they're going to do in the lower bracket, considering who they're up against. So it's going to be a fun one against Makers, and that will be coming on Friday, guys. Remember, still have one more play day before we kind of break. Then the major starts, and then oh my word, the major, Ollie, that's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
A lot of exciting Siege coming up. It really is. I think it's relatively fair to make the Ascend comparison, just because I feel like those guys kind of wrote the blueprint, wrote the script, drew the blueprint, whatever analogy you want to give it, as to how to deal with MNM. I mean, they dealt with Tyrant round after round so well. Yeah. And look at what Tyrant's able to do when he's given that position in time and space. Finds himself 2 massive kills and essentially commands that entire upstairs.
Exactly. I'll be, again, very surprised if MNM are going to try and go for those same kind of flanks. Mostly because whenever they know a Nomad's going to be brought, that's always going to be difficult to play against. We kind of looked at Ascend and we thought, how come they're not bringing a Nomad? But they did it with usually getting that opening kill and having an extra man watching that. So 2 different ways to go about it, I suppose, and both were very effective against MNM. So we're going to see this kitchen and dining. Here's the Echo that I mentioned earlier. It's an operator that MNM are not afraid to bring. It gives them information, and usually this is a very long, drawn-out kind of process for the attackers where you have to try and go above, unless you're Ascend, who decide to try and take direct on site, which doesn't really work against the setup that MNM go for. MNM are big fans of playing the vertical action. Whenever you have control of Office, you can deny anyone going in for a plant.
Eisen going to look to make his approach initially just at the bottom of West Main stairs. It's a power position if you can get it. Obviously, you've got the window that you can dip out of or dip into, but the majority of the fighting here really has to be for these solar stairs. There's going to be a lot of utility to burn on through. The nade sails on in and is successful. Tyrant gets caught out there. I'm kind of surprised. As soon as you see that ADS burn, you've got to be getting yourself out of there.
Another opening kill with a nade kill for Totem. So MNM once again lost that first opening pick. So it looks as if that Totem are really trying to execute on towards Trophy, on towards the solar side of things. There's a man outside a bathroom window also that Neo has to be careful of. So an interesting approach from Totem, not really going head on, trying to linger around the outskirts and look for opening picks where they can.
They're doing the best they can at the moment, like you say, just picking off these players. Mowgli's actually going to crouch walk himself into sight. Excuse me? The drone working on ahead of him. He's achieved the down onto users, finishes off the kill. Eisen able to provide a little bit of cover. There's going to be a prone player behind the bomb. Nello trying to get himself into some sort of position, but DJU, he's already getting the plant down. Mowgli's picked up his 3rd kill of the round, and this is very quickly going to become a post plant. Nello and Solotov, they're going to try and fight back against this. There's the ever-posing threat that Mowgli's going to ace them, but Solotov eventually shuts him down. Is it too little, too late? Nello, he's got eyes on the diffuser. He knows exactly where it's going to be. But he too is taken out. Solotov now needs to try and move on through, but the crossfire that is being held is going to be fairly substantial. Picks one up onto Link, but with vertical angles still being held, it is going to be difficult to try and just hop on into sight. You know that you're going to get taken out as soon as you look to move through. Neox, he's made the rotation down. Trophy, he too will fall, but with time running short and still a significant man count for Totem, it was only a matter of time. It's going to be DJU from Trophy window. Good successful round there.
Totem just looking for the picks, and then Mowgli sees an opening, and he exposes MNM and the weaknesses. Not having any control of West Main is a big issue now that we've kind of seen from MNM. I think the only thing that they had to actually give them a heads up, oh, somebody's West Main, I think was a single piece of barbed wire on the stairs. And that is it. Nothing else. And I think all of that stems from they lost Tyrant, who was on the solar stairs. You lose him, you lose control of Westwing because you don't have anyone else who can hold the kind of holes being made and stops anyone running in. You lose that man, you lose that control, and whenever you lose that West main control, you lose sight.
Tough stuff there for MNM. An opening kill starting to become a little bit of a problem. Still, only round 3. But enough for them to change things up and take us upstairs, as opposed to try and defend the kitchen. Instead, they're just going to try and defend this top floor. Users below, for the meantime, just going to be setting up a little bit into kitchen. Playing on the Legion. This is a site that we like to see Users on the Legion. He does tend to flex it when they come here to master an office. Need that early warning system. There's only one way to stop a crouch walking Ashe. In this instance, a crouch walking Qiyana. The Legion is, and who better to do it than Users? He knows all the routes. He knows where Mowgli's going to be trying to crouch walk his way in.
Yeah, Legion, I would say a good operator. Wouldn't say too strong, wouldn't say too weak. Just in a good position right now. The gadget is fundamentally one of the easiest gadgets in the game. I mean, I would say Rook Armor is probably still the easiest. All you do is
People have still got to pick that up.
Okay. But yeah, very easy. You just slap it down on a staircase, a doorway, whatever it is, and you just get a sound cue. It helps you out in those little moments, like you said. One Legion mine could really shut down Mowgli and some of the plays he goes for. So yeah, makes sense to have this kind of pickup. I mean, the gun's good. You get obviously either the impacts, which are always going to be quite handy for a lot of sides, or you get the bulletproof also, I believe. So yeah, you can have 2 options there.
I can't believe how quickly Mowgli's got himself in yet again. We've not even seen 40 seconds gone and he was already threatening, waiting for his teammates to try and catch him up. DJU going to send the nade on in for free. Wall free for the opening. Link can try and rotate himself around. We can see Hibana Iskaros pellets being placed now on the wall. With that vertical angle that has been opened, the floor is going to be vulnerable just immediately inside of that breach, and if there is anybody still playing downstairs, it could be a little bit of a problem. But it looks as though face checks are going to be the order of the day here. So we do see Mowgli just getting a little bit aggressive on that. He's going to dip himself back, just check the drones for the time being. He does have a drone for this flank. He's flicked onto it, and Tyrant wasn't caught. We got to see the outline, but we didn't actually get to see Tyrant. There's a lot of drones on the flanks here. Tyrant really needs to be careful. The likelihood is that he's already being caught out.
Oh, that's a good pick, though. That gives opening kill. Solotov has battle back, but looks as if Mowgli has just stormed right into Piano, and it's going to be a trade. Solotov had done so well there, Ollie, to stop him from doing any more damage than what he has done. Now we need to look towards Tyrant. He has to come back and assist his team as that diffuser will be planted. Link will successfully get the diffuser down. Nello not in a position to get those toxic babes out, and right now, Totem, they have full control. Users his foundation now, and all of a sudden, Ollie, there is a potential for MNM to pull a comeback right now.
They know exactly where the plant's gone down as well. They've got the man advantage. Tyrant's actually got eyes on at the moment. DJU going to be holding through on the cross. He's got a brilliant angle to be working with here, and he can start to pre-fire essentially whenever he likes. Tyrant, he knows there's going to be somebody hanging around inside a library. No, the players line up. DJU finds both. Link, he put a bit of chip damage in as well and claimed one for his own, but you could just see that MNM were lining themselves up to be knocked on down.
The webcams. Look at the webcams, Ollie. Look at them.
I'm telling you, these guys are hyped. Fly on the wall in
animated.
This team house right now. I'd love audio. We probably won't be able to tell a word, but I'd love audio just to hear the hype.
This is going to be a good map. Very, very good map. Totem. Again, Mowgli makes a play. All credit Solotov for being able to stop the bleeding for what it was, but still Mowgli being able to enter in and take control of Piano. I'm very happy to see everyone else from Totem. As soon as Mowgli makes those plays, everyone else is on the same kind of wavelength, and they're straight in, getting that diffuser down and making sure the job is done.
Totem leading by a round for the time being. Back downstairs to Bar and Games. This is where we've seen MNM be successful. Nothing fancy. A very similar hold to what we saw them play against Ascend. Tyrant playing in and around that fireplace. Assisted, of course, with the ADSs, and players inside of Library, most notably Neo. Users tends to play in Library, but will dip out quite quickly.
Indeed.
We've got to remember, Demo, one of the big reasons why MNM were successful in that previous round, the last time that we saw this site, we saw users aggressively swing onto the window, and he took Link down, because it looked as though Link might have been framing up for a little bit of a hop-in. Whether that was the case or not, it did a lot to really disrupt the attack that Totem wanted to bring. Can we rely on users to do that again here and now? I mean, it looks as though, fortunately for MNM, that a slightly different take is actually being attempted here.
I mean, opening kill in this game is massive, in my opinion. I think whatever side has the opening kill, both sides have looked phenomenal whenever they have a man advantage. I think that's the biggest thing to take away. So, obviously, if you're attacking, Totem want to make sure that they can, I would say, get the information done first and then coordinate with the nades, which they've been, again, phenomenal throughout the series. Their nade gameplay has been a joy to watch, so I expect nothing less off them again. DG's looking for a quick tap through 2 windows onto the player in blue stairs, but nothing comes off at the moment. A Toxic Babe also being expended pretty early, Ollie, but just gives them a little bit of breathing room to go for the rotates, then by all means go for it.
Eisen going to look to try and challenge onto the shield. He's got 2 Aruni gates to actually burn through, and any ADSs that are there as well, so it's a really big soak of utility. Totem need to try and work off the back of that quickly before those Suri gates reactivate. Solidov, bottom of Library at the moment. Got a little bit more surety now with these barricades. It gives MNM just a little bit more to play around. They know that they're not going to get caught out on those long angles as easily. Mowgli has been able to rotate himself on up main stairs. Tyrant has retreated into the Library. He's almost taken up Neo's position here, and he's going to try and drop the hatch, but will be taken on down. Mowgli, again, with that big entry, can now turn his attention over toward Kitchen. He knows there's going to be somebody in there. Barricade open, it's going to cut off any line of rotation. He got a glimpse, he certainly saw the player there, and he's going to try and pre-fire on through. It's a long old engagement for poor Nello to be taken with an SMG, and as such, he's going to drop the hatch and get himself out of dodge.
Oh, but look at Mowgli, he's also rotated downstairs, hunting Nello, and he will find the kill. Hunter the Mute, who tried to get away. The one that got away, Ollie, not happening right now for Mowgli. Link has also been able to jump in double window because they have the Library control and they do have control of the bomb site. It is going to be an easy plant. Neo, where are you walking? He gets eliminated, and so does Solotov, and Usis gets jumped from above. Mowgli, man on a mission tonight, Ollie.
Mowgli's like hyper carry at the moment. He's almost 1v9 inside of the server. Not that his team are fighting against him, but it almost doesn't matter what his team is doing because of his positioning and game sense.
It's as if we've got 5 players from MNM in one corner, we've got 4 players of Totem in another, and Mowgli's just by himself. He's in his own team.
It's a big Royal Rumble right now, and Mowgli is dominating. Not letting anybody get away. There was no reason, really, to chase Nello. Not really.
He's hungry for the kills.
Nello had a long old rotation to make to have any significant impact on the round, but Mowgli's like, no one gets away from me. I've marked your card. That is it.
Yeah, he was just everywhere and anywhere at the same time. So no fear. And again, Totem, like we said, whenever they're underdogs, whenever their backs up against the wall, they play their best Siege. And right now, they were showing that to all degree. Of course, still early in the match. It's only 3-1. MNM still have more... Yes, still have more defenses, and it is an attacker-sided map. MNM, we've seen on the attacks what they can do. So we'll see if that will be repeated for them. But right now, they need to get the defenses. They cannot afford to let Totem run away with the game and have that good confidence. We've seen the energy of this side. That energy is infectious, and it will spread to everyone in Totem. And from there, you've got 5 guys who just, they have that belief. You have to kill the belief of a team you're playing.
And the energy in the boot camp is not something you can put into a stat line, but it impacts on the game in a monumental way. It isn't measurable. It isn't something we can give a number to, but it is there, and it's relevant. And we're seeing that tonight. We can see it in the webcams. You can feel it in the way that Totem are playing with the aggressive playstyle and the way they're backing everybody up. 2-4 split would really go a long way here, I think, for MNM. They need to start coming up with some of these rounds. The biggest problem, of course, has been that opening engagement. Players getting singled out. Mowgli. I mean, the Legion was just... It wasn't enough, was it? We've not seen the Legion pick since.
Yeah.
It just... It's a drop in the ocean when you're trying to deal with somebody like Mowgli. 7-3 currently. They're not looking to slow down anytime soon. Instead, we've got the Banshees.
We do. Banshee's again, another trap operator that can give you that information, burn utility also. So this time it looks as if Totem are going to go for a similar kind of take again. There's an opening kill. It will be in favor of Totem once more. Tyrant, we talked about him and those solar stairs. He can deny anyone walking in towards West Main. Unfortunately, he's been pushed out actually by somebody in the drone hole, a very sneaky way to catch anyone by surprise, and we've seen plenty of times somebody get killed from that position. So the fact that Tyrant is alive is quite fortunate for himself, but still not a good position. They have pretty much forfeited control of West Main, and realistically what MNM need to keep control of is this trophy. As soon as they lose trophy, they lose site control.
Nell's got a long way to go to try and hold on to that as well. Solotov still playing inside a Master, knows that he's being held on Solar. Neo looking to make that rotation. Solotov will actually find the kill over onto Neo. Nello laid down, but predicted. Mowgli in there with the refrag. 2 versus 4, a minute and 19 to hold on. It's a long old time. A couple of kills swing in, though, and level things up very quickly. Neo getting the heads up, taking down Mowgli, the man of the moment. Aizen still has utility in the lifeline, can look to try and root this player out. Will get the instant notification that there will be somebody there, and, well, that somebody is Solotov, the last remaining hope here. Live ping information is available. The diffuser in the hands of Diju, and it will start to go down. The covering fire in place. Aizen, this hype is building round after round, Demo.
The Sophia so underestimated in those scenarios with those concussions that just allowed the second man to push in. At that stage, Neo, you know, he's disorientated. The aim's not going to be there, so very, very difficult to go up against that Sophia. But again, just this whole west side at take with that opening pick, it's doing wonders for Totem. Time and time again, straight away, right from the get-go, a player is gone from MNM. They have no impact inside of that game. Or on that round, should I say, sorry.
You've got to wonder how long it takes for MNM to really try and change things up there. I'm talking about running out on the player on Solar Repel, just trying to do something. Like, I mean, it's likely air jabbed off at this point. I haven't really been keeping track of where the Nomads have been going because, honestly, they haven't played any sort of a factor. They could be being used to burn Aruni gates at this point for all we know because there is nobody being given any sort of space. Any space that anybody does have on MNM is because they're in a 1vx.
A lot of 1vxs right now for MNM, and it's something that I suppose they kind of crutched on, to say, against Ascend. But again, that's something you can't rely on. We've talked about hero plays. We've talked about those certain scenarios. It's not in your control. It's down to your opponent to throw, and you can never rely on somebody else doing the job for you. We
haven't seen a lot of hero plays tonight from either side. I can't really...
It's been a safe game of Siege, but right now Chalet is not turning out to be that case. It has been much faster. You know, the pace has quickened immensely.
Yeah. Totem are certainly bringing a slightly different gear into this third and final map. And they should do. They've got the momentum. You know, coming out of the win on Club, it's going to be massive for them. A maximum overtime win to drag them into that third map, kicking and screaming. They must have thought that it was a long night ahead of them after map 1 of Oregon, and it certainly does feel like a long time ago. But again, 30 seconds into a round, and already Mowgli, it's almost like he spawns inside of the building, Demo.
Yeah, he's just straight in. He's not mucking around. He knows exactly what he needs to do. And he's performing to a very, very high standard right now. Setting up the flank drones again, which is something that we know MNM, they're not afraid to go for, these flanks. And a similar setup. You see that piano being held once again. Also downstairs below Ollie, we're seeing some pressure being applied by MNM. I mean, whenever you have C4s in your lineup, it's not a bad idea to try and hold in towards kitchen and dining, and whenever that plant does come in from Totem, you can try and deny it very easily.
Some of this drone work is fantastic. We're seeing a lot of pressure be applied, plenty of pings coming through to give that information and translate it accurately throughout the team. I've already seen a couple of players from MNM that are on drone and really unaware that that is a factor. It's obviously difficult to keep a track of everything when you're trying to hold on to angles as well as everything else, but
brilliant
great
trick.
Little bit of counterplay there as well, opening up the floor behind the breach prior to actually trying to get any sort of trick off onto it, then being in place to remove the Electroclaw. Utility gone from MNM. No more Electroclaws, no way of denying that breach from being opened.
This is the kind of slow-paced round that we've seen during Oregon, during Club. I fear for Neo. A lot of utility being sent over, eliminates the ADSs, and I'm sure a nade will probably follow in the meantime. Look, as the Solotov's having somebody in his window who very quickly and swiftly gets disposed of. This is looking much better for MNM. They have the opening picks, and Totem, they're in the back foot, Ollie. They're in the trenches.
They really are. They've still not been able to remove Neo, despite throwing everything and the kitchen sink
Flank
at him. And there we go. Usus, Solotov, they're going to pick up the final couple of kills there. How much better do MNM look when they just sit back?
Yeah.
They really relaxed into that round. They didn't force anything. They didn't try and make anything happen. They nailed the setup. That much has to be said. The way that Neo was able to survive for so long inside a piano, he had the deployable shield, he had the Surrogate on the window, he had 3 ADSs, 2 ADSs, plenty of stuff going for him. It was a nice bit of counterplay from Totem. They were able to get the breach open. It wasn't looking great, but as soon as the C4 hits onto the window, that's it, game over. All of a sudden, you've got no pressure in the site. You're not cutting anything across. You're going to struggle more now to get a plant down because it can be more easily denied. What a thing an opening pick does, Demo.
So that will conclude the first half. MNM, they now go on the attack, and Totem, they get the defense. So right now, 4-2. People are probably thinking, oh, Totem in the lead. This is, I mean, pretty expected of what we have come to believe of Chalet over the past few months or so. It is usually attacker-sided, so this is going to be a tougher half for Totem. We'll see if they can do it. Frost comes in. A similar lineup of operators that we've seen MNM play. Pretty expected across all regions. Frost is just great whenever there is a lot of pressure going around the windows. You get a Frost mat. It happens. It happens to the best of the pros. Those Frost mats, watch out.
They'll get you. They also win rounds. Anyone that's wondering, it was a 4-2 scoreline in the Ascend game as well. MNM won 4 attacks. Ascend won 4 attacks. Both teams winning 2 defenses. So we really aren't straying anywhere away from the norm here. This is really how we expect Chalet to play out.
Okay, so this is a bit of a classic from MNM. They like to enter in from the basement, Ollie. They come in from the garage. And we've seen some really creative takes from them. They like to pressure in towards connector as much as they can, and they're not afraid to just simply jump into the double window and try and get a plant down. That's usually the kind of go-to plan for MNM whenever they go for it. Usus is great, again, as that kind of sentry turret. He just places in a position, just places him down there, and he sits and holds an angle. Anyone walks in, they're dead.
Solotov still threatening here. He's not required anywhere just yet. Still information being gathered on the drones. But he has the option to either go up main stairs or up library. Neo in accompaniment now as well. Can look to join him. B is relatively clear for the time being. Nade's now being cooked. That's a great nade thrown up. He's unlucky to not actually get the kill there over onto Mowgli. Vertical angle can be used now as well. And we're going to see Mowgli downed. Likely going to get picked. I don't think the MNM are going to thirst after this kill. It's more important to get that wall open into back storage.
Connector, yeah. That's what it is. You need to get that connector open, put pressure on that player and connector. Keep in mind, double window jump-ins trying to get the diffuser down, Ollie, is, for most parts, quite stupid. Whenever there's a player inside a connector, he can shut you down all day of the week. So MNM like to try and pressure that man as much as they can and make him feel very, very uncomfortable. It doesn't look as if it's really paid off because there is still upstairs pressure. They've been able to kind of scare away Solotov and Neo from that position. And Eisen can still play very, very aggressive. He can still play in a good position where he can deny this jump in. MNM need to get this upstairs control, I fear.
Eisen's actually got the DMR, so he's not really going to be too well equipped to be taking this close-range engagement. A couple of kills are going to fly in here for MNM as Nello looks as though he's framing up for that hop-in. We have seen plenty of Flores drones go down, so we know that there's unlikely to be a Frostmat in position. Eisen will make the DMR work at close range as he shuts Nello down, and with it, the diffuser. Solotov, he takes a chunk load of damage as well before Eisen eventually falls. Tyrant there to finish the job. He's going to pick himself up too. Diju getting in the line of fire as well as late last-second rotation from Link, but it will not be enough. Tyrant on a little bit of a tear there, found himself a pocket of space and was able to work with it.
Yeah, just again, that kind of lone wolf mentality from Tyrant. Walks around, sees what he can do, picks up those refrags. Great cover, I think, on the Solotov. He was under fire from 2 guys, and for Tyrant to slip in towards that kitchen corridor and pick up that kill, great work from him. So that's the first attack going in favor of MNM. Probably wasn't the idea that they had. We know they're all about trying to get that diffuser down. That's what Nello always has in the back of his head. But still managing to pull it off. I think they just had enough pressure from certain angles to then, again, very similar to what kind of happened in Oregon, was they just held angles and Totem kind of beat themselves in many instances.
No surprise to see the site change. Totem are wise to flex off and get themselves upstairs. Master and Office is going to be their chosen location. They're going to choose to bring the mirror. That's a big old wall to leave open. But, and it's a comment that I nearly made at the time when MNM were actually defending in here, if you are going to play somebody into Piano, it can be a handy line of sight to have. If the breach gets opened, you often get a really nice line of sight. There isn't a shield that's been placed on the Piano as of yet. So maybe that isn't the intention. However, it's still going to give you a bit of a line of sight if you are going to try and play in. Half the wall has been reinforced now. You can see the castle barricades getting deployed as well. This is a much more, we're going to set up and you're going to really have to try and work for this. You've got a lot to go through. There's the castle, there's the deployable shield finally going up. It's going to allow Mowgli to play in.
2 mirror windows still in the pocket. Where is Neos going to try and put these? Habana Pellet's actually going to be used for the castle barricades.
That's a great use, isn't it?
Makes sense, I suppose, whenever you are bringing also the Maverick to the table, so you can still open up a line of sight here or there. So Habana Pellets make a lot of sense, especially whenever MNM, unfortunately for them, they have decided to forego the sledge, which is usually a main staple pick in most of their attacking lineups. Yuzus
has been playing the Flores. He played it last round. So that's obviously who we would expect to be playing the sledge. No one else is really going to be playing the sledge if Yuzus isn't. So certainly getting a little bit of value out of those Rotero drones. It's a lot of information that you can gather as well. And I think that that's another aspect of Flores, which is a real nice to have. And one of the things that I think makes him extremely pickable is that information game. It's not only the fact that you've got explodable drone that you can really place onto anything, but it's that info. And you're able to gather that. And especially if users are going to play on that rappel, it's going to provide him with a lot of ability to open up the castle barricade and really work in onto those players in Piano.
I mean, look at that mirror window. That's a new one for me. Being placed inside of Office, looking towards bedroom. Usually that's a bit of a bad idea because all it takes is somebody going towards the Office door and that mirror window is nullified entirely. But at the moment, nobody from MNM has kind of caught on to that weakness. And right now they're all gun-ho Ollie trying to move in and open up that Solarium side as much as they can. Bathroom is clear. That's a good check from Nelu, but that shield will stop them in their tracks whenever they go for it. But right now, just getting this wall open is a bit of a hassle. Kite Claw being placed down. Nade's gonna go down. A lot of damage being done to DJus, but nothing at the moment. Right now for DJus, just stay alive. He has a C4. That can come in very handy in the late game.
Soltos having a bit of a nightmare downstairs. He's got so many pings to try and work with. It's almost like information overload. Eventually, he will find the Electroclaw. It's going to allow Nello to open up this wall. It's going to put an even more increasing amount of pressure onto the players for Totem, who, by all accounts, are pretty stacked up, Demo. There's a lot of them in a very concentrated area of the site. They're getting further pushed back now into Office. Still, we've got Neox inside of Piano. Solotov from below can do more to try and corral these players around. Nello, he's going to be attempting the plan. It doesn't look as though anything's going to come in his way. Say again, a great C4 from DJu. Tyrant not able to try and cover onto that one, and the kills keep on coming. Uses, he finds one onto the rappel, but Solotov has an inordinate amount of work to do, trying to clear that diffuser and grab himself a couple of kills. It was a great attempt from Usus, but that was all it ever was. He hopped himself on through, but eventually he too was taken out.
Yep. DJus, all he had to do was stay alive. Had that C4 in the back pocket. Whenever that plant tries to go down, it's easy picking. So easy for them. Mirror windows. Very weird mirror windows more than anything, you know, and they worked so well. But should they? Should they have gone unnoticed? Should they have gone untouched? Because, again, like I said, all it takes is one player from MNM, rotate to Office Balcony, and destroy that mirror window, and all of your worries are gone.
It was a bit of a shame to see the amount of hard breach that was brought and nothing placed in toward Office. There was no pressure there whatsoever. We didn't even see an attacker play Piano window. Such a direct approach from MNM. It was a, as you would like to say, Demo, a minimal take, and it didn't really work. Solotov tried as he might from below, but there's only so much that you're able to do there. Now, we are seeing a change. We're seeing something that I can't remember seeing it this series long. The Users, the Ashe. What does this spell? He's gone from Flores, maximum utility, bringing all the information, bringing the ability to destroy a boatload of utility, which, granted, Ashe can do as well, but in a very different way.
It's new territory. We haven't seen Users kind of pick this operator who we're used to seeing be the first one into the building. Usually that's Tyrant's role as that main entry. Users kind of tags along behind and, you know, picks his positions very well and just kind of waits for the opportunity to strike. So it is an interesting switch-up, like you said. Again, they have the hard breacher, so they can open up that connector wall if they need to.
Look at that adaptation coming out from Totem as well. Every single time we see MNM attack this site, where does Solotov go in? He goes in through Garage, goes in through below. Not only is the wall reinforced this time, but there's also a Banshee down there as well for good measure, just in case he does manage to get himself through that reinforced wall. So again, great bit of adaptation from Totem. They're really learning as much as they can from these rounds and making adjustments on the fly.
Solotov, this time though, will swing his way in towards Bedroom, and it looks to be a much more standardized take. This is kind of what we expect to see a lot of the time from most attacking lineups. It's just the norm. This is what we come to know, just standard things. Pushing in towards Bedroom and Office, take control of that fireplace as quick as you can, and finally push your way across to Library. And hopefully by that stage you've gotten some kills, burned some utility, and scared most of the roamers away.
We haven't really seen Users do all too much just yet. He's mainly been on the drone demo, mainly been figuring out that information, whether it's by holding the flank or actively trying to drone people out. A little bit of an engagement there as Molotov does take the swing onto Mowgli. Wall being open now, it makes the top of those library stairs a very difficult place to be. The big problem with not going in underneath is allowing those players in back storage. Typically, that's a main focus for MNM. Now, not only is there a Kona station in there, but there's two players on the side of Totem that can just hang out inside of back storage. Eisen, he's not got a reason to leave.
Yeah. I want to see where Tyrant's going to be playing, because usually he is kind of lurked in the shadows and waited for his opportunity. Again, kitchen dining is usually a kind of area he likes to try and pressure, and looks to be the same story again. Oh, double frost mat. Watch out, Neo. Hopefully those will be spotted out and he will not fall victim. Right now, Neo, he just has to, I would say, play as safe as he can. Don't give himself away, waste as much time, and just try and battle back against MNM. And Tyrant has slipped into sight. Ollie!
How has he managed to do this? He's going to be able to hold on to the hatch, immediately shut down by Eisen. It is all going to be for naught. The trade comes in as Solotov, he's able to take down onto Link. Neox shuts down Users. Didn't see the activation of the Ashe inside of this round, and a couple of big kills coming in there for Totem. Neo, he'll respond, but he's now in a 1 versus 3. Can recover the diffuser, but he's only got 15 seconds left to try and make something happen. And he hasn't really got any information to be working with. Totem, they know where the push is going to be coming from. Library stairs is always a good bet. Eisen, he's going to collect that final kill. You can see the hype intensifies yet again.
They are up for this. They are so up for this tonight, Ollie. 1 round is all they need. 1 round. MNM just in the mud right now. Nothing working for them on their attacks. This is unbelievable. Totem, just, again, a team where they are the underdogs, kind of where they're counting out. You look at the social vote, everyone said MNM. Everyone said that MNM would win this series, but it's not the case. You know, Totem have struck twice in 1 week.
The expectation going into this game certainly was on MNM's shoulders. And again, we talk about that pressure. We talk about teams turning up on match day and putting in a shift. Totem, again, the pressure, it's not with them. They're not expected in this result. We've seen that in the social votes. We've seen it in all the stats that we can generate.
It's the same as the other side of the bracket with Defro and what they've been able to do.
Yep.
Would you ever have said that Totem would beat Makers and MNM?
What happens when Totem goes up against Death Row and neither of them are expecting to win? That's a dangerous one.
Who do you say is going to win that game?
That is a dangerous one.
Oh. But still, there could be a twist in the story. Who knows?
There is a chance, however slim it might be, there is a chance that MNM pull out 3 clean rounds here.
Wow, Totem just have looked so good. Again, just that energy. We've seen it going into the second map, Ollie. That's whenever they got fired up. Oregon, they started very, very sluggish. And they just had to work themselves into this game. It's working really well for them. They get free defense. Free defenses. Let's see if they can do it. They will move now to the kitchen and dining. This is usually seen as the tertiary bomb site. Expect no basements tonight. I think we've seen MNM, didn't we, on Ollie on Friday? They went for the basement, and it was just, it reminds us why we don't go basement. So, yep, kitchen dining. Let's see how MNM want to deal with it. Solotov looking to go below and actually utilize the vertical action that you can get from the big garage. And that will look up in towards Trophy. Again, another position that usually defenders like to hold.
Another round, another change. Users, this time the Finker. We didn't see anything come of the Ash last round, so I'm not really too surprised not to see it again. Ash has really fallen out of favour, only for a select few that still clutch on to the operator. Nello
first
on
kill.
The opening. On to Mowgli as well. Big first kill. You can't pick who you get, but that's a great one for the Shark to grab. Surely that could be a little bit of an in here. MNM do tend to work quite well, as do many teams, with that opening engagement, and it's something that they've struggled with throughout this chalet.
Nello not having a good game tonight. Didn't get a kill in the defense, which is usually where we see him show up massively. But maybe he can make a difference and try and turn his game around for himself. So Totem getting pressured in towards Solar. They have this kind of soft mirror window, similar to what we've seen on their upstairs hold whenever they were defending Bedroom. But MNM, again, they know they have that man advantage. They can take their time. Nello has swung in now. He has the diffuser, so he has to make sure he can be in a good position to try and execute onto the bomb site. And have they checked for the guy who's just jumped through bathroom and down the Solar stairs? Oh, Link has found Neo. Nello is somehow still alive, but he finds two. What a play from Link. What a calamity from MNM.
Eventually shut down there by Solotov. It does something to stop the bleeding. Levels up at 3-3, but the advantage that MNM were seeing is now no longer. The diffuser cold on the ground. Tyrant left watching onto the flank. Solotov pushes on through. Going to aggress right on in. Still, they need to try and retake here. He's got an idea, but will immediately be taken down. Users there with
Great
the
trade.
refrag. Could look to try and revive Solotov here, bringing back on 20 HP. Neox needs to be cautious and careful. Tyrant hanging around that window, but will give up the angle. Even so, retakes. Looks to try and pressure in from an alternate view. Solotov can start to open up this vertical. There's still time to make this happen, but there isn't a lot, and there is no room for mistakes. Users falling with the diffuser.
Brilliant
Almost the foreshadowing of this entire round. Neox, he's going to be able to take down onto Tyrant. It's down to a 1 versus 1. Neox has to aggress onto this. You can't let Solotov plant this. Solotov, he's going to get away with it. He's managed to lock in the plank and destroy the Goyo shield. That's going to burn so much time here for Neox. He has to try and hit his shots here. MNM fighting for their life. The C4 comes through. It's shot out midair. 32 seconds left. Solotov, he keeps his team in it.
Unbelievable from Solotov. He was on one shot from the TCSG, and he would have been done. Would have been done. But somehow he stays alive. Wow.
Big round.
Not over yet. Not over yet.
Big round from MNM. Still a ways to go. You can see just what that means. It's not hype. It's not big energy in that room. Well, they're in all different rooms, but it's not big energy that's being thrown around there. That's a very cautious, woo, we dodged the bullet. We got away with it. That was the scrappy round that we can afford. Now it's got to be clean. We've got to play some squeaky siege, and we need to try and get this one over the line. They did a great job of getting the opening pick.
Yep.
But it wasn't all plain sailing. There was some disastrous mistakes.
How do you let this happen?
How does this happen?
I don't know.
Where's the trophy window cover?
It just looked as if, I mean, I would say Nello, he was on those stairs. How does he not hear that man vault over? He was in Dreamland. I don't know where he was.
For MNM, another bite at the cherry. Don't forget, the best thing about this game is that nobody goes home just yet. There is still a chance, there is still an opportunity to drop in to what has been labelled as an alligator swamp.
Yep. But keep in mind, the loser plays either 86 or Helios.
No thanks. That's all I'll say to that. That is not going to be a nice engagement to go
Sorry
into
to tell you all, you don't get a
all.
decision. You don't get a decision in it.
Well, these players get to decide right here and now. Totem, 1 round away from locking in a date, death row, in our upper bracket final. M&M hanging in the balance. They need to come up with 2 clean rounds to take us to an OT. And even then, it is not guaranteed.
So drone work coming in from Neo, checking that library side. Again, Solotov in his usual avenue of approach, in from the garage. And he comes up the stairs, and again, no roamers from Totem there. Playing very relaxed on site. Those mirror windows are going to be the main issue that I'm sure we'll find out. Looking at Totem as well, Ollie, they've decided to keep their mirror windows kind of in the back pocket, which I think is a good idea. I only worry that... oh dear. The mirror window in the back pocket could have been great to slap down and try and defend that, that kind of library corridor, but losing that opening pick in a bit of a bad tasted manner, that's going to be rough now for Totem.
It's a big confidence boost as well for Users. He's not had the greatest game so far. He's got 7 kills for Users' standards.
He's underperformed.
It's pretty low. His EPP will be fairly low inside of this game, or at least this map, because of that. But Solotov's been backing that up. Opening pick, he's going to go a long way here. And especially, as you say, not full utility gained out of the mirror. Aggressive play from Mowgli. Totem, they're forcing something. They're trying to make something happen here, Demo. And they're on match point. They don't need to be going for these plays.
This is the same issue that happened to them in Clubhouse. They had an opportunity to close it out a lot easier than how they had to. And they started getting reckless. They started trying these hero plays and tried to pull back kills any way they could. But M&M deal well with that reckless aggression. They deal well with teams who put themselves in positions that are not comfortable. And M&M feed on that. Look at the patience again. They're just taking their time. They've got the breach open. And it's just a matter of time before this diffuser goes down. A matter of time.
M&M like to hold angles, and they're going to punish you if you're making those sort of plays. A good advantage here to try and execute on. There's 35 seconds to do so. Toxic Babe Canister's now starting to cut off that breach. There's still 2 in Link's hands. Can he get himself into position to throw yet another? Nello, he's going to soak up 1. He did attempt to get the plant down for a time. Diju is going to get taken out along with Link. Look at Solotov, he's popping off here, Demo. He's found himself 2 before being taken out by Aizen. Arguably the hypest man on the side of Totem has it all to do, but M&M respond. They are providing us with some pretty squeaky siege right now, Demo, and they are slowly but surely locking themselves into an overtime here.
Piece by piece, little by little, M&M starting to make, it felt like a fantasy a few rounds ago, become reality for them. Solotov, what a map from him so far.
Incredible.
The series as a whole, I would say, maybe didn't really get going in the last game against Ascend. Oh boy.
I mean, he wasn't given the chance. Let's be honest.
It was the Users and Tyrant show. Users now dropping off a little bit. Solotov has taken the reins.
It doesn't matter.
He's taken charge.
Exactly, because as a team, the performance is still very comparable. Let's see how M&M choose to approach what could be a big old round for them.
Still match point though, Ollie?
It's still match point. It's been match point for the last 2 rounds, Demo.
Yeah.
This started out as a 6-3 match point. We hadn't seen M&M be successful on the attack up until only a couple of rounds ago when they really started to make things happen.
I mean, Solotov feels as if he's playing for 2.
Well, we know
in a way.
Well, when we were talking about Mowgli, 1v9, Solotov. Talk to me. Enter Solotov at that moment in time. Mowgli's fallen off. Since getting on the defense, he really hasn't been given the room to breathe.
Yeah.
And I think that's because Shally can be a really difficult map to be a defender on. You've not got that many options.
He can't make the same plays as what he was making on the attack. We've seen him trying to make those plays, but he's just been countered straight away as soon as he's done that.
It's a fancy little rotation that Aizen's making.
Yeah, that's why you try and get as many shotguns as you can, so that doesn't happen.
No shotguns on the side of Totem, so Aizen really is kept busy on the site prep. Isn't going to matter, he's not being pressured too much here. M&M recognise the weight that is going into this round, and they can't afford to let the foot off the gas. They've had a really good couple of rounds previous, and it would be a shame to let that slip here with a sloppy start. So they're going to go for that classic take in toward Master and Office, led, of course, by none other than Solotov, 19-8 currently.
Yep.
Looking to try and open up this side of the map and give his team a little bit of an in. There were a couple of really nasty Frost placements last time, and I'm wondering if maybe they've changed up a little bit. We still got the 2 on the new Balk window. one inside a library.
Fairly default. I would say you should be ready for that if you're MNM, if you see the Frost. I mean, it's pretty much the same Frost mats that they play.
Yeah.
So if you can do it, you'll know that the enemy team can also do that. So again, same kind of setup from MNM where they're trying to take control of this library side. I mean, the only worry that you would have is if they're setting up the exact same way, they lost it the exact same way they're setting up. So yeah, bit of a worry.
A lot of utility going in there to clear the player out of the top of those library stairs. The shield eventually destroyed. Mowgli forced back to the half landing. Solotov hasn't been able to get the chip damage on. He's not gone for the challenge the same way as we saw him do previous. DG threatening at the bottom of library stairs as well. Maybe just coming up to join and assist. Still the small matter of Eisen in back storage. Opening kill onto Solotov. That is not great at all. Immediately traded, however, as Users has been able to take down onto Link.
Neo should have had that refrag. That was the angle Neo had to cover if he's playing on those, on that kind of off his balcony on that double window. But he somehow let the Frost slip in and eliminate Solotov now. So it has been a trade, but with a minute to go, I mean, there's not really much that MNM have on board, and Totem now, they have full control. Neox has been allowed just to roam around the map ball and just pick off who he's wanted. Tyrant's gone, who has usually made the big impacts for his side inside of this bomb site, but yeah, it does not look good right now for MNM. All Totem have to do is sit back and let MNM beat themselves. 30 seconds now to go. Can MNM do it, or will Totem have an easy way? With that man in connector still up, Ollie, this is going to be so difficult.
It was a great nade attempt from Users, but it isn't going to do all too much at all. Neo able to take down onto Neox. Trying to find the angle onto that player. Does find the kill onto Eisen. That is huge. It opens up the side right up. Neo, you're going massive here. 3 kills on the round. Mowgli, he's trying to rotate himself on into sight. He's going to find one onto Neo, but will be taken down by Users. How have MNM done that? They have guaranteed themselves an overtime here.
I know how they've done it. Neo, that's how they've done it. What a performance from Neo right there. Wow. There is nothing going for them. Absolutely nothing. You've seen what they wanted to go for. He had to kill that gang connector. He had to get that shot, and what a shot it was.
I mean, back-to-back, 2 of the best shots we've seen all series long. Incredible flicks. The information was there. It is no secret. You know exactly where the player in connector, well, you know exactly that there's a player in connector. You don't know where exactly he's going to be, but you've got to take your chance. Totem have got to feel like they've just let that one slip a little bit. It's a big opportunity now, opening this up into an overtime. MNM still on the attack. We're going to get an action replay of this here.
Had to make it.
Beautiful shot as he, I mean, it's a matter of 5 or 6 pixels changing color at that point, and also able to pick up the second as well. Round-winning stuff. Could be game-winning stuff right there. Without those 2 kills, MNM did not have a hope in hell of getting away with that round. But as it stands, they've locked in an overtime.
I can't believe they've done the overtime. I cannot believe it.
6-3.
It was so grim for MNM. Totem looked just on top of it. Whenever Totem got that match point, you seen the room was electric. They were all putting up, you know, the number one round to go. Oh dear.
No.
You shouldn't have done that. You should not have done that.
No. Many a round to go. I think MNM are going to feel pretty good about getting the attack as well.
Keeps the confidence up.
Keeps the confidence, keeps the momentum. They're able to come in on the same mindset. They don't need to change all too much up.
So we see already a difference for Totem. They have a mirror window now that Mowgli can actually play off. This was missing last time because the mirror fortunately got picked off within the first 15 seconds from a quick cheeky peek from Users. Very Joe-like that we're used to seeing on that kind of Alpha store. So yeah, now they have the extra mirror window. That should play a big part. So it just kind of slows down, you know, Solotov, where he wants to get in there quick and try and cause issues. You'll see straight away, Tyrant will see this mirror window and think, oh, better not pick that. So
yeah. See you later.
It's just going to take some time. I'm loving the position though for Mowgli. He's playing this mirror window very, very well because right now he knows nobody can touch him.
To lock off the entirety of library stairs and that corridor that leads up to it is pretty massive. And it's going to force MNM to make a very different approach here. Now, Neo has a chance. Obviously playing on the Maverick, can just choose to make a couple of small holes inside of that wall and look to pressure on. Even remove the canister, maybe try and work from below. There's nothing stopping Solotov from getting in. You've got the buck. There are a lot of answers to this problem.
I think they might just try and blow the entire breach open first, and that'll just nullify the mirror window entirely. Uses has found the first pick onto Mowgli. Ollie, this could be massive. Look where he's got the kill from. Mowgli was swinging double window. Surely not, Mowgli. Surely not.
There's nobody playing that mirror window. Neo now knows this, by the way. The wall is getting opened as we speak. Nello is lying in wait, and there is nothing to stop this wall from popping. This is going to be the easiest take on into Office that you've seen. Mowgli caught so out of position.
They still do have piano control, but look at the utility from MNM. They have flashes, they have grenades still. That shield should not naturally last too long, I would say. Give it maybe 20 more seconds in its lifespan before it does get eliminated. We need to see that castle barricade being opened on piano. I think it was Tyrant on the Yana came around using the Gon 6, opened that angle up. I'm sure he'll probably try and do the same again. Nades go in. Will this eliminate? Looks as if it will. DJs has found users though, so that's one kill back for them. It's still looking a little bit edgy right now, Ollie. I don't know where this is going to fall.
That's a great kill there from Solotov to take Eisen down.
What?
Tyrant does miss out on the opportunity. He isn't ready for the player to be hopping out of the window. Neox takes him down, finishes off onto Neo, but the plant is still on. Nello trying to bait it out, but doesn't really have the cover and fire. Is able to find one onto Lincoln, two onto Neox. Nello, how do you get away with this time after time? Diju, he's aggressing on through. He's got live ping information, but Solotov is on the cover. 3 seconds left on the clock when the plant is confirmed. Diju now has to try and aggress on through. Nello goes for the swing and takes a chunk load of damage, finishes him with the pistol. Nello, what a round!
Nello, I hate to say it, he was sleeping for a majority of this game, but what a way to wake up. Wake up and smell the coffee, Nello. My oh my, what a performance from Nello. Whenever the dying seconds were coming into the...
Wait for it to come to you. You don't always need to force things.
My oh my.
Overtime match point. MNM, this is your time.
God, feels like a very long time ago since we've seen MNM on the defense.
It really is.
Whew, right, bedroom side for them. In terms of lineup, no Mira, which was something that was featured quite heavily, but I would say wasn't done well by Totem. I mean, the Mira windows worked very well whenever the solar takes come in for MNM, but for example, the main kind of Office breach, Mira windows did absolutely nothing. Legion, I think, is a good pickup again. Yeah. I would say Mowgli, just with how he's kind of been playing on the defense, he's hungry for the kills. He wants to try and make those plays, so making sure you can shut down those key entrances for him can be crucial.
Is Mowgli going to have the confidence to be in the building at the 30-second mark? Given the defensive phase that he's just had, the fact that we've not seen him really do all too much since he was on the attack. He's now 10-10, he's going equal, but he came out of the first phase really popping off. Is he going to have the confidence here against an overtime match point to be playing the way that he was and really dictating the pace? Because at the moment, MNM, they are in charge of the accelerator of this game.
I mean, Totem have been the more plant-focused side out of the two. We've seen more plants go down on Totem's side than MNM throughout the course of the attacks. So I would say Totem will probably go pretty basic, try and open up that breach as per usual. Again, their nade gameplay has been so strong today, Ollie. We'll see if they can continue that. A little bit more flexible options, though, for MNM. Look at the positioning of Tyrant. He's actually going to be playing top fireplace. He has some Maruni gates to try and deny some of the utility, potential nades that could fly in towards him, but still not in a great position, and he will drop down, just get away in the nick of time. Does waste a bit of time, bit of utility, I suppose, but now the MNM boys have to make a long rotate back and try and get upstairs again. They are very low on numbers and sight, but Solotov has found a kill on the Eisen, and that could be huge, Ollie.
Solotov strikes again, 21-9. Really putting his team on his back in terms of kills. Again, a lot of utility gone. We've lost the lifeline, we've lost the Zephyr, we've lost the LMG. We've seen how powerful those three things can be. Totem still scrapping for this upstairs control. They've got players in. They still need to gather a little bit of information on the drone. Neok's going to do just exactly that. He's going to learn that somebody's playing inside a piano. No real surprise there. There's going to be a heavy investment of utility as Diju going to be able to remove the denial. Ooh, the missed throw on the Electroclaw. I think Solotov isn't going to get away with that. No. We can see that it did actually just get open. No, we've suffered the team kill. That could be it, Demo!
They've been so good with nades, and they've naded themselves. They're that good. That's a good the other just kill anything that moves. Oh, this is looking tragic now for Totem. They were so close and now it seems so far away for them. Use this with a flank. We'll put down Neox and now we are left in a 2 versus 5 for DJs and Link. MNM looks as if they are on the cusp of glory. If they pull this off, it will be quite the comeback to talk about throughout the rest of this season. A 2v5, is it possible?
Neo does take a chunk load of damage there, but Nello will shut down onto Diju. It is all down to Link. It is all down to the support player. This was 6-3 in favor of Totem, and Link now has to fight for every single one of these kills. Likely going to full white flash himself there, gives the game away. MNM, they are not giving him any opportunity whatsoever. Uses to find the final kill. Look at these guys. Nello, he is very, very pleased with that one. MNM, they booked themselves a date with Death Row in our upper bracket final.
What a performance. What a performance from the Marshmallows. My oh my, what a comeback. 6-3 down. Totem had so many opportunities to close it out, but it just